Hey, it's Lorne here from Dominion Lending Center's Expert Financial, optimalfinance.ca. So why are you waiting to buy a home? That's a great question. And I know it is very difficult to kind of make decisions in an environment where there's not a lot of certainty. Okay. And I think that's the biggest thing right now is getting comfortable with what the environment is. Understanding that we have inflation that's happening on one side and we have interest rates that are continuing to increase, and how does that affect you? So is it actually possible that homeownership now is cheaper than it was 6 months ago when interest rates were lower? So let's look at this because this is really important to understand. So let's take the GTA market. Now they're saying that overall prices are pretty much down about 20%. Okay, so let's look at this comparable. So let's take a $900,000 home. Okay, and let's assume I'll do two scenarios. I'll do a scenario if we have a 20% down payment, and then I'll do a scenario if we have less. I really want to simplify it for you, break it down, and show you these amounts. So let's take a $900,000 home, and let's say we have a 20% down payment. So this is the first scenario we're going to do. Having a 20% down payment means we don't have to pay any CMHC or insurance fees, that sort of thing, and it allows us to extend our amortization to 30 years, therefore increasing our purchasing power. With that, if I have a $900,000 mortgage, I need $180,000 as a down payment. That means I'm going to have a mortgage of $720,000. Let's go back to months ago when interest rates were low, and let's take an interest rate of 2.85%. Okay, so I'm taking a common variable. Even some of the fixed were around there as well. So on a 30-year amortization, that payment amount monthly is $2,978, so $2,978. Now, let's fast forward to today. Interest rates have gone up. We know the interest rates going up is affecting our purchasing price. But what's happening on the other end within our market? Well, what has happened is there's been an adjustment to pricing within the GTA. They say it's pretty close to 20% in terms of the price adjustments it was at its peak to where it is today. And if we look at where it's heading, if we look at last month to this month, pretty much the same. It hasn't really changed in terms of pricing. So maybe is this the lowest? I don't know, because maybe this is where things are going to start getting interesting, because we may have hit the low where the increase is. We don't know that 100%. But we do know that there's a continual influx of people coming into the GTA area looking for a home. So I'm going to touch base on those statistics in a minute. But let's compare that same home that was $900,000. Let's reduce it to about $720,000, which is about 20% of what the purchase price is, right? It was at that particular time. So now I'm going to use this scenario where we put in just 20%. So I'm going to reduce my down payment, okay, to $144,000. That's the minimum 20% down payment I would need to not have it insured. So I've just kind of saved $36,000. Maybe I need it for the closing costs and everything else. So I can actually now put less down on that same house. So now we end up with a mortgage of $576,000. Okay. Interest rates have gone up. Okay, now I see some comparison on the internet. They're using interest rates today, but I don't like doing that because I know September 7th, knowing the history of what's happening, I know rates are going to go up. I want to add in a little bit more interest. So if you're on a variable right now and it's prime minus whatever, prime rate right now when we're doing this video is 4.7. And I anticipate on the 7th, it's going to go up 0.5%. So I think it's going to go to 5.2. You're going to get a discount off that variable. So let me use 4.7. Okay, so I'm going to use a higher interest rate right now. Your monthly cost is now $2,987. So that home that was $900,000, which payments before when it was $900,000 was $2,978. Now the payments on that exact same home, putting less down and saving $36,000 in that down payment because of the decrease in the price, is $2,987. That's a $9 difference per month, okay, for that exact same home. Now, here's the other really important fact to understand. The demand for real estate is continuous. The CMHC says they need to build 3.5 million more homes in Canada to keep up with the influx of immigration and housing demand. They are nowhere close to that. We know that people coming into Canada, 60% of them are settling in Ontario. So we know that the demand for housing is consistent. We know it's going to continue to push prices up. So I'm thinking, where do I want to get into the market? Do I want to get into that market when it was sort of an inflated high or an adjusted low? I'm thinking the adjusted low is a great time to get into this market, because you know you don't have to wait for 2 or 3 years to get it back up to where, maybe it was, 6 months ago. You're going to see within a short period of time, you look year over year, you're going to see a consistent increase in pricing over that home. Okay, it won't be the crazy jump that it was in the last year or so, because that was just not normal. $900,000 home, now valued at about $720,000 home, $9 difference in the monthly payment. And this is an important thing that we need to understand as buyers. We don't live in the price, we live in the payment. And this is really, really important to understand, particularly when we try to budget whatever we're doing. It has nothing to do with the price. It's how we structure our financing. It's how we strategize in terms of making sure that the payments and the type of structure that we have in financing connects and make sure it really is in sync with what our goals are and what our needs are on a day-to-day basis. So let me take this one step further. Hey, listen, Lorne, this is great. You know, you're talking to people who have lots of money and family that can give gifts or whatever. I don't have a 20% down payment. What does it mean if I don't have a 20% down payment? A little bit of a different scenario, because now you cannot go to a 30-year amortization. You have to keep it at a 25-year amortization. So let me use the same scenario when we're looking at a same purchase price. Let's say that same home, $900,000, adjusted price $720,000, but now I'm putting only 10% down. Let's say I have $90,000 saved. I'm going to apply that $90,000 on whatever that home is. So I'm just going to use the consistent $90,000 on this one. So basically $900,000 home, I have $90,000 down. The insurance fee on that is about $25,110. Okay, so that gets added into the mortgage. So my total mortgage that I'm going to have is $835,110. At 2.85%, my monthly on this is $3,895. Okay, so higher than it was before because I didn't have the full down payment, and I got, you know, it's the lower down payment, my higher mortgage. So your monthly payment on this one is $3,895. Okay, so let's jump into the adjusted price of $720,000 with the new market values right now. Let's say we're still going to put that $90,000 down because I have that saved. I had it saved regardless of the price was. My insurance fee is going to be reduced. It's going to go from $25,110 to $19,530. Okay, so there is an adjustment in that insurance premium because I'm putting more money down against the price of that home. So now I need a mortgage of $649,530. My monthly payment on that, $36.85. So now I actually have a reduction of $210 per month or $48 per week. If that's how you actually, you know, you can translate it that way as well. Okay. Remember, it is so important. We live in the payments, and I know that hesitation to get into the market is because of people want certainty, right? We want to know where things are going, but we also have to look at where we're at as an economy. We have to look at where you are personally in your life, the stability of your job, confident. Canada is in a unique position. It still has over 1 million job vacancies. There's a large demand for labor here in Canada. And as we've seen some positive signs on the inflation side, the government wants to be about 2%. Okay, so we still need to get it down. So you can still expect rate increases on the prime, okay, which will affect your variable rates. You may not affect your long-term rates at all. So for example, when you get into a mortgage too, and you're concerned about these, you know what? Maybe fixed is okay, but maybe not a 5-year fixed. Maybe it's a 1-year fixed. Maybe it's 2-year fixed or a shorter period of time if that's what we're looking at too. So those are options that we would look at as well. Hopefully this has been helpful, because you know what, I get a lot of questions from buyers saying, is this a good time to buy? And I think real estate is always a great investment at any time. If I could rewind 6 months ago, would I have preferred to buy 6 months ago where interest rates were low and prices were 20% higher? Or would I prefer to buy right now when those same houses have adjusted in price to the market and interest rates are higher? I'm taking option B because I'm banking on the increase of values of homes over time. And I think that's what will build our net worth and build your wealth through real estate. Hopefully you found this video useful. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And we're looking forward to seeing you in our next video.